Greetings and salutations, everybody. My name is Dark81 here, bringing you another episode of RWS Customs Volume 2. Today we shall be looking at my universe's take on Yong. Now, first thing you'll see about this shape, you're probably already going to try and guess what class this is, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you haven't read the title, this is not an A1, at least not a Peppercorn A1. This is a Peppercorn A2. These were originally going to be Thompson A2s, A2 stroke 3s, but Peppercorn swooped in and took 15 of them and converted them to his design. Well, more or less redesigned them, but kept several of Thompson's traits. And I figured it'd suit him. There wasn't much real reason as to it. Like, my criteria for choosing for him was that it had to have smoke deflectors, be a Pacific, and basically it'd have to work in a plausible way. Originally, he was going to be an A2 stroke 3 back in the old model line, but it was changed to just an A2. So I guess, hey, some real life influence there. A2 stroke 3s becoming A2s. But yeah, here he is. And largely, I don't really have much of a character outside of what's already been established by the community, namely TCC, at least before they went, well, bad. But I will say that there is a trait of the Peppercorn A2s which will come into play in this dude's personality. Now then, if you haven't already done your research on the A2s, I'm going to tell you that these engines were called the minus friends. Why was that? It's because compared to other contemporary Pacifics of the LNR, they had a higher consumption. Think the original A1 by Gresley versus the Raven A2. It's kind of like that, where if you compare an A2, Peppercorn A2 to Peppercorn A1, one of them is going to come out on top in terms of, well, in terms of thirst, in terms of hunger for fuel. And the A2 ain't winning that race. But, considering how, well, these things were called minus friends and their appetite for coal, it gave me a bit of an idea of how I'm going to either characterize Yong or give his background for y'all when I write his eventual file on Wattpad. But generally, keep that tidbit in mind, and I guess come up with your own theories about what I'll do for him. But that being said, let's give a quick once-over of him while I give you some trivia about the building of this model itself, because there is actually something neat about it. So, aside from being the pioneer of the Peppercorn-style Smokies, or the, well, Wagner-esque designed smoke deflectors that the LNR picked up after 1947, he is also the first not Gresley, but more so, the first LNR Pacific with this firebox design. Basically to have it streamlined with the newer modeled sheet I have now. Because before, it was all monoblock. But after Yong basically proved as the trial run for this new firebox design I built, it's basically becoming a standard. Jock might soon get it. Rex might, well, not Rex, but maybe Mike will get it. Rex at the moment is fine how he is. But yeah. And he's got the high-sided tender, as per usual. And as for his livery, I chose to highlight the green frames that have become common on some of his merchandise as the lining. And obviously the red is popping off more. And fun fact, outside of largely having this bit as a just straight down section, Yong's frames are pretty much interchangeable with Gordon's, as he was built, well, basically side-by-side comparison, which technically the A2s were shorter than the A3s, I think, by just a bit, but still, it paid off, and I guess if in future I need to build another one, I will continue that trend, because all in all, Gordon's frame design being implemented here into Yong was pretty much a good idea, because now I have the genesis for how all my future only our Pacific frames are likely going to look, except for the Raven A2s when I build one, because that thing is a whole nother level, both in real life and it will be in model form. But anyway, this has been DarkX1. I shall see you next time for another review, but for now, I'll be signing off. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.